What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. You already know what it is. The Round Table here live at Hbcu Legacy Bowl Day 2. Team Robinson is early, as you can see him behind the field with us, getting started for practice. Excited to see Day 2. They're going into the morning session, Blue. Day 1. What was your quick recap of Day 1?
Quarterback play, not great. I mean, on both sides, and I really do think it was. You have to develop some chemistry with your wide receivers, and
Yeah.
I think when you saw like on the slant routes, the timing was a little bit off. Like you saw Cox, he threw it way behind him. I don't think he knew exactly what to do. The kid, the D2 kid on Team Robinson, I'm blanking on it. The kid's name.
Harrington.
Harrington, he didn't look bad. The kid from A&T looked pretty good, but I would say it was a big day for defensive linemen yesterday.
Yeah.
When you look across both teams, when you look at Dumas, Ronnie Thomas, both of those guys had big days. Cam Peterson, like you said last night, man, he's just so physical. He's so long at defensive tackle that he can extend, keep the hands off of them. And then on the other side, the kid from Hampton, Keyshawn
Oh,
Miller.
man.
Man, I went back because you know this. When you're filming and you're live, sometimes you kind of miss some of the good reps. He played the 1, he played the 3, he played the 5, and 1 reps at all positions.
Yeah. Isaiah was in that same boat, you know what I'm saying, and being that versatile as well. For me and everybody saw, I think the standout across the board was Xavier Smith.
Yes.
I mean, on both teams, he just looked like this was business, all business, no games, no fun. It's not an all-star game. You know, I'm not here to make friends. It's whoever lines up in front of me, I'm going to do damage. Now, going into this Day 2, Team Robinson being first, who are you looking to see step up and make and get some stock value going up?
I want to see the DBs have a little bit of a better chance on, I guess, making their impact because the quarterbacks were so bad. The DBs suffered from that because the ball wasn't getting there. And the DBs, let's just be honest, when you look at the routes, regardless of if the wide receiver caught it or not, they didn't have a good day yesterday in one-on-ones.
They didn't.
I want to see the DBs take a step forward. This is a big day for Nugget, some of those other guys who I think will pop more in scrimmages more so than one-on-ones.
That's real.
That's where they'll live. They only had about, I think yesterday, Team Robinson had about 10 minutes of scrimmage at the very end. That was it. And the quarterbacks were dropping the snaps. They were running the football. So I want, if the DBs are going to make money this week, that's today because I think they're going to scrimmage a lot today.
No, and I hope we get to see it. The one thing I do like about the SWAC team, they get right into it. All right, there's no hesitation. There's no let's it's do little drills like they're doing now with the pass. Let's get in there. Let's get going. For me, the quarterbacks. I gotta see more from the quarterbacks. You know, I gotta see more from Skylar Perry, gotta see more from Larry Harrington, and gotta see more from Bubba McDaniels. Surprisingly, he was off more than I expected him to be. I thought this was a great opportunity for Bubba to show why he should have been the starter going forward at Southern. And I'm not seeing that matriculate here at practice. And it's kind of disheartening. But I saw what he did at Jackson, so I'm like, I know it's in him. But I need him to show that more going forward because there's plenty of opportunities for the XFL and the USFL opportunity for him to be a starting quarterback. Because what we've seen from the XFL this last weekend, quarterback is something they all need. So if he comes in today or throughout the week and keeps showing up, keep throwing great passes, you know what I'm saying? I want to go for it. Let me ask you this, and I know you got to get down the field and get your photos and things like that. The old line play on both sides, but especially for Team Robinson, since we're talking about them. How did you evaluate them last?
It was day 1. So I'm not gonna, come out here and say, oh, this dude's horrible or whatever. I think they, outside of a handful of guys, they fit multiple spots. So I think it was getting them comfortable finding out, is this guy a center? Is this guy a guard? Is this guy a tackle? Getting reps. Even Robert Mitchell on Team Gaither, who me and you say one of the best offensive linemen in HBCU football, he played center, guard, and tackle yesterday. So it's really getting comfortable day 1. Day 2, though, you got to show up. And when you look at Drake Centers, he was a guy who really popped yesterday for Team Robinson. Even you saw, Ben, he was so aggressive.
Man.
He took that one kid into the camera. They were like, listen, you can't people out
stay
here.
Up.
The problem I've seen with a lot of the offensive linemen is speed on the edge.
Yeah.
Not many people handle that very well. And when you get beat off the edge, the one thing, if you know he's coming fast, pull down.
Yeah.
Because then they lose their balance. You saw Ronnie Thomas fall victim to that. He saved himself the one time, still got to the quarterback. It was a great play. They got to get out of that. You got to get out there, got to take your drop steps
and extend them all the way around the pocket.
Yeah, get them around the pocket because pulling down, holding calls are going to be a big thing. And also, if they know you're going to pull down, there's counter moves for that. And with the defensive lineman, me and you talked about this, counter moves are going to be big today. How many guys have 2-3 moves in their arsenal? Because we saw a lot of guys win with spins at times, but then by the time the second, third rep came, that spin wasn't working.
It wasn't.
They had nothing to give. So the O-line, D-line is going to be very important. I think an all-star game like this, it's hard for wide receivers, corners, quarterbacks, even running backs, especially in practice. Running backs can't make money because you can't tackle. O-line, D-line makes money in practice. On game day on Saturday, that's when the running backs, DBs, wide receivers, QBs can make their money.
And I'm glad you brought up, because I think a lot of DNs don't understand when you're in a one-on-one situation and the guard, they don't have to worry about the guard. It's literally you're ISO focused on this person, and this is when you need to have the counter moves, as you said. Hey, I go to the spin the first time, then I got the bull rush, then I got the heavy extend, or then I got the chop cross, or the rip through, or the stutter inside. Like, you have to have a range of moves, because as an O lineman, I'm going to learn what you do just as quickly as you're trying to learn what I'm doing. So it's really who can kind of play the better chess game. It's like, okay, I know this guy like the spins. Let me sit back and wait for him to spin. I'll catch him in the spin. I'll push him out, back into the guard or back inside the pocket. So I'm curious to see that. And I'll say this, and I know they don't get a lot of love. Christopher Duel is putting his ass off out here. Listen, this kid, yesterday, I'm telling you, for Duel, we was counting it. Me and Blue was like, he's on the 35.
The hang time.
The hang time's there. It's getting at least to the 10, to the 5. It was at the goal line a few times, and the guys are having, and you can still hear it hit his chest. Christopher Duel is a professional punter. Speak a little bit to that, Blue.
It's so important because we saw the gunners. Nugget was one of the gunners. When you got a guy that runs a 4.3, if you can get that hang time, Nugget's there.
Yeah.
I mean, and fair catches me so much because you're seeing more and more specialty guys come out of the draft where if they get the ball in their hands on special teams, it's 6.
Yeah.
You saw this year, even with some games, I know not HBCU wise, but SEMO Montana, the playoff game, SEMO's up 24-0. They lose 34-24 because they return a kick and a punt.
Wow.
How important was it to kick out of bounds, get the hang time? And so Christopher Duel, punters don't get drafted unless you're the one kid from Florida State who that ended up not working out. But kids from FCS don't get drafted on special teams. But he's a guy who I think will have a roster spot.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
He's so good, and he can kick a little bit. We'll see. I didn't see him kicking.
I didn't see him kicking
yesterday,
but I think it was Romo Martinez,
who was also another FAMU guy.
Man,
who was great.
They killing them in special team, man. They got listen, FAMU, like, if you need special teams, come to us.
And I also want to see who return guys are necessarily today too. If they can do some not live but semi-live punt return stuff, like who can improve the stock if you put X back there who was catching punch yesterday, man.
Ja'Cory Rankin was also catching punch.
Yeah, but I also want to see, man, maybe a guy like Nugget who didn't have the production at corner, who is kind of a guy who could play safety and corner. Can he at least go out there and just show that he can catch it and show that he can beat in that spot? He runs a 4.3.
Yeah.
He's great in open space. Could he be a guy who potentially could get some looks there? Because we know special teams is your ticket to the league. If you're an in-between guy, if you're a 4th to 7th undrafted free agent,
absolutely,
playing special teams is important. And that's what Aubrey is going to be great at. Isaiah can Nugget and some of these other guys
make their money in special teams. All right, Blue, we're going to get you up out of here. Guys, they are getting started with they got some team skeletons going on. We got some bads going on. I think this might be the run fit for the linebackers, making sure they're seeing. So got some good stuff going on here, guys. So I'm going to let Blue get going. We're going to see if we can bring something to you live on the field. We'll try to get that going. But we're going to come back. We're going to, after day 2 is over, me and Blue going to come back, break down what we saw for day 2. Possibly have some interviews with some players. Hopefully we can get that in, and then we'll give you Team Gaither later on today, all right? That's been our time. Until next time, you know what we're going to do. We're going to holler. God bless.